We all need unconditional love. Factors associated also with, those are the references in case somebody wanted them. Unconditional love of a child. Yeah. So in the same way that cisgendered parents need help to support their gender diverse child, heterosexual parents often need help to support their non-heterosexual child or youth. Any parental dreams of whatever are parental dreams. And that's where it needs to stop. And sometimes we, who know the family, need to remind the parents of their hope and unconditional love of their any age child so that their young person or child or adult can thrive. It's a hard thing to do, but we are lucky as in family medicine to be able to facilitate these things. So factors associated with condom use. Men who have sex with men who respond to homophobia and other discrimination with self-assertion, self-affirmation through social networking, and having family acceptance, we're more likely to use a condom. If there was family acceptance, they were also more likely to be HIV negative. So how can we do this? So, I mean, I work with young people. I got posters everywhere. I'm quite visual. But that thing of just, again, people being able to walk into a space and feel like, oh, I belong here too. You know, whether it's blended family posters, whatever, but it's everybody needs to feel like I also belong here. And this is something I learned after one of our nurses was lesbian, and was something she had said to me, and I went, oh, I get it. Though in my head there was no problem when I'm interacting with the person, I have to remember that outside of my doors, the world's a horrible place. And so it's always trying to figure out what are their safe places and how can we support them to be safer and have developed the assertion skills, reduce the self-blame. Okay, how do we get use free of assumption stuff? So I asked my husband, because he works in children's ED, and they get a lot of all sorts of families, rainbow families as well. And so he too said that there have been times when he's tripped up on assumptions. And so, of course, now it makes complete sense. Just introduce yourself. I like to start by asking, how do you pronounce your name properly if there's a name that's slightly, because I see a lot of different spellings. And because I genuinely want to learn so I can do it right. And then when you're trying to figure out who the other person is, and just kind of ask. And if the relationship's not volunteered, then ask, how are you related? Say, kia ora, my name is, I don't want to make any assumptions. Please can you tell me your name in relationship to the patient? Wasn't that hard? Universal words. We need to stop using husband, wife kind of words. Yeah. And so, yeah, this is a young people slide. This is actually the Rugby Falcons. They're all gay. This is a pride parade. And so anytime you talk to not just young people, but any people, it's that same genuine interest, compassion, open heart. That's when we get the honest answers back. Yeah. What else can you say? I'm sorry. What are other ways of when you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that? People must have some lines that they normally say. Oh, okay, maybe it's me who says it. I'm sorry, yeah. No?
Smile, be welcoming.
Yeah. Yeah, and just take a breather and just say, oh, okay, let's start again. Yeah? And so this was one of the articles that I'd read back in 2015 where I had emailed Bruce and I said, oh my gosh, a third of surveyed gay and bisexual men with HIV believed their GP was unaware that they were having sex with men. GPs were less aware if the gay bisexual men were younger, Asian or another ethnicity, or they were much older. If they were bisexual, or had never had anal intercourse, only recently, or they had a fewer number of partners. So if the GP was unaware, they were less likely to have an STI test or a HIV test. It's a long-term condition that can be managed with daily medication. They can have normal life expectancy, but we need to find it first. And there's a syphilis problem as well now. 18-year-old male, first consult for abdominal pain, PR bleeding, walked in, effeminate mannerisms. I'd normally ask people, what's your favourite vegetable, that kind of thing. And then we went through the anatomy atlas, and I said, possible causes are these. And then I was like, how do I slip this into our first meeting? And I went, or not enough lube with bum sex, and we should check out a STI. Oh, I'm not like that. And then I went, okay, so more of that stuff. More dancing. Would you like some condoms? Yes. Oh, okay. So then I get the teaching fellas, because I'm all about trying to how do I do this as quickly as possible. So the teaching fellas, and I put it in the person's hand, and I go, that's about the Durex size. If it's wider than that, we need this one. If it's narrower than that, we need this one. And then I said, and these are the condoms that you use for bum sex. And he opened his hands. So then I said, make sure you get more lube. Told him we'd go, would you like this? Gay to Z info. Yes. So into this, I've only just met him. We're talking about constipation. I had a suspicion. I just wanted it to be at least out there so that in the future, if he needs to come, we can do stuff. He wasn't ready for a STI check. I will be checking him up later. But it's going with what the stage of readiness there. Because what I can do, rather than me find out every body bit that touch every other person's body bit, is provide them with tools so they can look after themselves and know that they can always come back. Okay, 45-year-old man, Craig, married to Tanya, 2 sons, lawyer, previously served in the army, recently separated because of some sexy texts on his phone, now dating a colleague. The doctor asks, the texts from the same lady you're dating now? Then he pauses, actually I'm gay. Actually it's a guy, no he doesn't say he's gay, actually from a guy I play rugby with. Oh I see, the doctor says, I didn't know you're bisexual. And then he looks offended. Doc, so you know I consider myself straight. Then the doctor goes, oh sorry I get it now. When was the last time you were tested for HIV? So this is the teaching case from the American model. What are some of the issues here? How do you think Craig feels? Yeah, he's angry, and he's probably thinking, I don't want to come back here. Oh. Okay, take 2. Okay, Craig looks offended. Doc, so you know I consider myself straight. Oh, I'm sorry, I get it now. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Can you tell me more? But Craig is still offended. We need to kind of figure out how do we catch this a little bit earlier. All right, are the texts from the same lady you're dating now? Oh, I see, thank you for sharing this with me. I can tell this isn't something you share with just about anybody. Please tell me more about this guy. So now this is actual interest, flipping it around and showing a genuine interest in this person's life. But could this be improved? Yeah. I was like, holy. Okay, and that's where the dichotomous words can get us stuck. Okay. What information are we as GPs trying to elicit from a case like this? Oh, this is audience participation time.
You don't need the story, you need the risks. Like, you don't need to know if that's actually the same person that he was seeing before. You need to know whether he's being safe and whether he, is presenting risky behaviour. It's actually irrelevant if that's the person that he's dating.
Absolutely.
I mean, like going back even, it doesn't even matter if that's the same person that you're seeing.
We're not detectives. We're not the family lawyer. It's none of our business.
Sometimes you don't get very much coming back though. Like especially, I was just thinking about a young man who came to see me the other day who hasn't had a lot of sexual connection, but he didn't really give me, no matter what question I put out there, I wasn't getting much back, so I had to really tease it out to get it. So, and he was embarrassed because it was his first time to come in for an STI check. So, and when I asked him certain questions, he didn't know about things, like he didn't know about the different condoms, he didn't know about where to get lube, he didn't know, and then I sort of had to ask a little bit of personal stuff, and you could just sense it, and then he just said, look, I've had enough now, I have to go. And I said, well, I hope you feel comfortable enough coming back. But it did feel like I was pulling teeth. I don't think he knew how to respond back to me, so I don't think I may have asked questions that I shouldn't have asked, but you're also finding your own way sometimes with these people?
Oh, absolutely, because we've got seconds to read the non-verbals and figure out, was this the right word for this person or not the right word? Am I going down the right track? Hang on, I've got to think about this differential diagnosis. I've got to ask that question. Yeah.
When I walked through the door, I thought to myself, this young man is possibly gay, but I don't want to assume it,
That's right.
And so you don't know what the consultation is going to be for anyway, because it's not a sexual health clinic I'm in. So it's like, well, he could be about his foot. Yeah. So I have to, what can I help you with today?
Yes.
And it took ages for him to actually start even talking about his sexuality.
Yeah, and it's true.
That's the thing. I mean, every time I see a case study, there's always 1,000 more questions I've got in my head.
Yeah.
Because, and I suppose that's the bonus of primary care, as opposed to invariably you do know these people. So not always, but a lot of the time you know them and you have that history, so you have that rapport, you can ask different questions. But sometimes it's worse because they know you and they don't want, so you can't sit there and say, this is what you would say to this person, because that's completely out of context.
Yeah, and that's that thing about explaining, despite all the awkwardness, about I hope you feel comfortable enough to come back. So even if they go away, oh my God, that was so embarrassing, it was so hard, but they know deep in their heart you care for them.
It's like when you talk to your kids, you say it 1,000 times, they don't want to hear it, but you hopefully think that in 6 months' time they might remember you said it. Yeah. Even if they don't ask you again, they might remember you said it. Yeah.
Okay, this is another case, 33-year-old, a female. Doc, I'm under so much stress and been feeling so lonely for so long I tried killing myself. I've been in counselling for months thinking nothing would change. Then I met a girl at a bar. I've never done this before. I took her home and it was like I escaped my real life. You must think I'm crazy, Doc, but that was the best 2 hours I'd had for a long time. It felt great. And this isn't me, but this is a GP who teaches me. And the GP said, the love and touch of another human being is what we need sometimes. And that's it. Yeah, often it feels like they've got their hand on the door when they actually do say, this is actually what I'm really here for. And you're like, oh my God, I got 2 minutes left on the clock and I need to spend more time with you. And you know what? It's worthwhile. That's why we miss lunch. Yeah, we don't need to go into this in detail, but remembering that because people of diverse identities often have been living their daily life in environments that discriminate or are violent towards them, that we need to provide a space that is safe, because some of them even have been traumatised by their own families who are trying to straighten them out. Oh, okay. I'm all into promoting condoms. So, guess this is from the States. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, got a teenage pregnancy problem, but you can't get your hands in any condoms behind glass. But actually, in some of the New Zealand supermarkets, it's hard to get hold of condoms as well, because you have to ask somebody and check out. They can come and unlock the cupboard. It's by the cigarettes. Yeah, I know, that's right. Have you seen any femidoms on the shelf of the supermarket? No, I tried Googling Countdown online the other day. I couldn't get any. Yes, yeah. But then a lot of people don't want to have to go to NZPC or the sexual health clinic to get condoms. So the 16mm slightly wider condom is not available in 12s or the supermarket or vending machines, and there's none for bum sex. We've got a problem with kind of making sure everybody's got the tools they need to look after themselves. You can get them on Trade Me though, if you have an account. And you know what, as long as they're not damaged, go for gold. Yeah, so same thing. Oh, yeah. And so yeah, we can't get these on PSO, so like I feel like a real traitor when I'm explaining to young people. It's like, the best I can do is teach you how to cut up a condom to be an oral dam. Yeah? Have you people seen that done? No. Oh, okay. So when you pull the condom out of the packet and you get a pair of scissors and you cut the radius of the circle, then it opens out like a fan. And then it protects people. Yeah. How can we increase accessibility? Well, having them on your desk is a good conversation starter. And when you have them in the bathroom, labelled for blowjob and vaginal sex or anal sex, then even the most embarrassed people need to go to the bathroom and they can stock up. And in Paris, outside a train station, you know what? 24/7 access if you've got some coins or PayWave. And this is a poster which is available through the youth health pathways on the Auckland Regional Health Pathways website. And so this is an updated version, just kind of for our PSO cupboards, because we're all working busily. We're not trying to measure people up, but we just need to be able to use language that is, we're all made different sizes. Females have to try different bra sizes on to find the right support and comfort. Yeah, I say to people, you know, like people might go to Farmers and they'll try on different bra sizes. If it's too tight, they don't want to wear it. If it's too loose, it doesn't do the job. They've got to get the right fit, but they do that in private. And that's what the samples are for. You go do it in private, and then you come back and tell me what more you need of. And also, I remember having a patient that to measure his height, I had to stand on a chair. And because he was a captain of a sports team, he was quite popular at parties. And so it was important that we converted him to be a consistent condom user because it affected lots of other people. And then he said to me, oh look doc, I'm trying, but it just keeps rolling off. And I went, oh, they didn't teach me that stuff at med school. So I went, who knows best about condoms? I went to NZPC and I said, look, I'm a GP, I just don't know what to do. And they said, get the condom and get them to apply it early before a full erection, which maybe guys know that stuff, but as a female, I don't know. And then he will fill up inside the condom and then it won't roll off. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. There's the regional health pathways, but I'm not giving away the username and password. It's already been done. And on there you can find youth health pathways, gender diversity, transgender health, mental health and addiction, management of STIs, and HIV management is being localised currently. In primary care, we've got an opportunity now to invite young people in the door, get their HPV vaccination, and just kind of give them some tools to look after themselves a bit better, get tested if they need testing. Was somebody from the New Zealand AIDS Foundation that showed me this website. So that's, you need to write this address down. It's a great resource. It's easy to create yourself a login to access this free online course, becoming more gay friendly in your practice, breaking down barriers to HIV testing, PrEP in practice, practical guidance for general practitioners in NZ. So the pre-exposure prophylaxis, it's important that you need to encourage condoms as well. This is not a summary of the course, you need to do the courses. It's not easy, it's complicated. Efficacy requires about a lot of money. The person needs to be very organised and they need to adhere to timely medication. But there will be some people that will suit this. My patients can't afford stuff like that. It's also recommended for New Zealand GPs to do the course online and consult a sexual health or ID physician before you start prescribing PrEP. But because the word's out there, people are going to be asking for it. Yeah, this is what Bruce was saying about focused acceptance, commitment therapy. So if people's value system and their beliefs here, we can like fire lots of facts at them and nothing's going to get in because of this stuff. So who really cares? I think it's really important that we provide a space to acknowledge and permit their feelings and getting them to reflect and reframe, be thinking about constructive and fun activities so that they're going in a more positive direction with their life, just as in a less destructive way, a more constructive way, and support the person to talk with a trusted family adult and facilitate the repair of relationships so that they can build their resiliencies. Oh. And so on your desks I've left a copy of Letter to Mama, which Armistead Maupin wrote this book, Tales of a City, San Francisco, and more Tales of the City, and there's more after that. And a good friend of mine who's gay and married to a man, and gave me this book, and it was one of those situations where when he first described when he first told me that he was gay, I was like, oh yeah, but I already knew. I don't know how I knew. But it was probably just more that he needed to go through the stages himself, like people do with GPs, of needing to tell someone that they feel safe with before they go to the next stage of coming out to who else they need to come out with. And this beautiful letter, the author has given permission for reprinting for non-commercial purposes, because it's a really good framework for some people, and if they're trying to figure out how do they pen a heartfelt letter to their parents to come out themselves. Okay. That's my goal. Oh, sorry, and that's supposed to be a father and son. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So some of the websites that can be helpful. This is a national website, National Directory Youthline, and so you can put in your area and the category of service you're looking for. Evolve is a local YOS, Youth One-Stop Shop. There are others in the local DHBs. Rainbow Youth did this one. And they can help not just with kind of connecting people to support services, which includes supporting family with coming out, but also with diversity groups set up in schools. We've heard about Inside Out. Village Collective has a Rainbow Collective. They are for Pacific young people, so they're Auckland based. There's Outline for 18-year-olds and up. They can get phone counselling or face-to-face counselling. And this is the one this is one I hadn't come across before. It's Gayline. So, yeah, with the help of Outline in Auckland, so they're in Wellington. Okay, 32-year-old male, marketing manager. Had a girlfriend when I was 19. We had sex but realised I'm more attracted to guys. Been together with my husband for 10 years now. We'd love to adopt, but so we can offer them a loving family. And these are the many ways we know that people can become parents regardless of what the coupling arrangement is. Oh, what happened there? Oh, there. Okay. So we know here in New Zealand, we hear of whanaunga. So the benefits of whanaunga are that people's genealogical lineage, their family history, their antenatal exposure is all known. there's strong whānau support and there's strong identity for that child, young person as they grow up. Some of the disadvantages are that you may be dependent on relatives who are willing to bear and share a child. Adoption, I think we've all had patients or family who have been through this. And so one of the key issues there has been identity questioning. Foster parenting. One of the benefits if people don't want to do the baby stage is the baby stage might already be over. But there is you need to have a whole lot of love because there is a potential you'll have a child with a few more problems. Where there's biological conception or donor insemination at home without an agreement, there's a risk of STI affecting the pregnancy as well as the person with the uterus. There's the risk of future reclaim of that child, and if there's no contact in the future, the young person may still be having issues with identity questioning. When there's donor insemination in a couple's home with an agreement, you get 4 parents. That's pretty cool. I mean, when it says a village to raise a child, that's kind of pretty cool. But if there's no access to healthcare and people aren't honest, there's still this STI risk. When people do donor insemination through a clinic, but they don't know the family history, so you can work out all these different bits. And then the full-on version, the donor gamete, IVF and surrogate uterus, there's potential lack of control over the antenatal bit, and there might still be this happening as they're older. Yeah, so everybody's got to work out what's right for them. Okay, a 6-year-old child in shared custody of lesbian mothers and gay fathers, new to the practice, home insemination, a co-parenting arrangement made preconceptually, where the mothers make most of the health and welfare decisions. Upset in the past by a doctor who asked which one of you is the mother, asking you, does your practice welcome rainbow families, and will your practice accept consent for the child's non-biological mother? Okay, why are people asking? Yeah, I think you are the converted, but it's like, okay, and why is it upsetting?
They're both mothers.
Yeah, they're both mothers. They're both mothering this child. And are there better ways to elicit the relevant information? Yeah? No? Okay. No same-sex couple will ever tell their child they were accident or they didn't mean to have them. To be a same-sex parent takes lawyers, planning, fighting for a life before you're even called parents. This is stuff from the States, from education. A percentage of children who are behind basically their educational expected level. So children who are living with never married men kind of are fallen behind their peers the most. Never married women, cohabiting heterosexual parents, separated, divorced, widowed father, separated, divorced, widowed mother, same-sex couple men, same-sex couple women, and your traditional conservative heterosexual parents. So there are benefits to that. Okay, does your practice welcome families? So we can, don't fly a flag unless you actually believe and all as a team are going to behave that way. But the practice enrolment form is a way of improving things. No, it's just good old, just whichever gender that fits into our system, doesn't ask for titles or marriage or blah blah. And then when it's for a child under 16, just who the relationship is, mother. I had no answer to this. I couldn't even believe this question was in the book. I don't know. Does anybody have a particular answer for that? I thought that was a non-question. Okay, coming out later in life. Has anybody got Netflix? Yeah. Oh, I think this is funny. So this is Grace and Frankie. And after like 40 years of the two families being close, and then the separation happening so that the husbands could get together, because they'd secretly be having a romance for the last 20 years. Yeah, and it's awkward, and it's neat in that the family, the adult children also say, hang on, if you had separated from mum for another woman, that's not okay, so why are we okay just because you're gay? So there's lots of things. It's like, you know, there's lots of issues about fidelity and honesty, and yeah. But some people do come out later in life, and that's that thing about fluidity. But also maybe just kind of more confidence with a society around you that's willing to accept you for who you are. So people need our support all the time.